Hi, welcome to this video. In this video, I will talk about conditional switch statement. A switch statement is used to test a variable for equality against a list of values. The switch statement is part of JavaScript conditional statements. I will open the code editor to show you an example of switch statement. You can use multiple if-else-if statement to perform a multi-way branch operations. However, this is not always the best solution, especially when all the branches depend on the value of a single variable. These if-else-if conditions are looking for a student grade. You can use switch statement which exactly handles this same situation, and it works more efficiently than the if-else-if statement. Let me convert this if-else-if statement into the switch statement. I will comment out this if-else-if statement. And I will show you an example of switch statement. To define a switch statement, you use switch keyword and then parentheses. Inside these parentheses, you write an expression or a variable and then the opening and closing curly braces. These parentheses can have an expression to be evaluated, or it can be a variable. In this case, it is a variable which is student grade. The objective of the switch statement is to evaluate an expression and compare the result of an expression or a variable with the multiple cases. So you need to define some cases. I will define some cases for the student grade. If the student grade is A, then I will define a case for student grade A like this. Case A and colon, and then block of code after the case statement to be executed, like document dot write. I will say student with grade A, and next I will write a case for grade B. Remember, this is colon, not semicolon. Okay. So block of code for the case B, which is document.write student with grade B. So these are the cases which I am writing, and the third case will be for the grade C student. Document.write, I will say student with grade C. So the value of this student grade variable will be compared with all of these cases. If there is any match, then the block of code will be executed. In this case, the value of student grade is B. So the switch statement will compare the student grade value with the case's values, and if find the match case, it will execute the block of code of that particular case. Let me add a line break, and after that I will save this script and I will show you the result inside the browser. So in this case, the grade value is B. It will execute this block of code. I will save this script. So you can see the switch statement executed the block of code after the case B, but it also continues the execution after the match case. To stop this execution, you use the break statement. So this break statement will stop the further execution. I will save this script. I will refresh. So now you will see only the block of code of execution with case B. The switch statement is used together with break and default keyword, but both are optionals. The break statement indicates the end of a particular case. If you omit the break statement, it will continue executing each of the following cases. But if you use the break statement, it will stop the execution of more code and case testing inside the block. It will ignore the execution of all of the rest of the code inside the switch block. Now if there is no case matched, then the default keyword is used to run some code, and it is not necessary to break the last case inside the default keyword. I will use the default keyword and then colon and then block of code to be executed. I'll say no data found. So you don't need to add the break statement after the default keyword or the default case. So I will save this script and I will show you the result, and the result will be the same because the grade of the student is still B. If I change it to a C, then it will execute this block of code and then it will break the control. I'll save this script and then I will refresh. Now if I change the grade value from C to F, so you can see there is no matching case and the control will move to the default case and it will execute the block of code after the default. I'll save this script. So you can see I'll refresh, no data found. So as I said earlier, the break and the default are optionals, but it is necessary to use the break statement to stop the execution of further case testing, and the default keyword is used if there is no case match, then the block of code is executed in the default block. So this is how you can convert this if else if statement into a switch statement.